Hello everyone and welcome to the introduction of the game of Hex. The game of Hex is a strategy game played between two players. The goal of the game is to get points, and you get them by occupying hexagons, and it's done this way. Each player in his turn plays one stone on one of the circles. Say, blue player played here. Now his opponent decides to play here. Now you see that when the blue player played, each of the hexagons that surround that stone became blue, became his. So he gets 1 point for each hexagon in the end of the game. The rule of the hexagons is very simple. Whoever has more stones around the hexagon gets a point for the hexagon in the end of the game. Let's see if we take a look at this specific hexagon and both players will try to fight for it. See that now each player has one stone around it, so it's no one's. But if blue keeps playing around it, you see that now it's blue's. Now it's again no one's. If blue player plays here now, and then the red decides to ignore it, then you can see that in the next move, the blue player can make sure that it's his. Now the blue player in the end of the game will get 1 point for the hexagon. Keep in mind that if one player has even all of the stones around a hexagon, it will still get just 1 point at the end of the game for the hexagon. It doesn't matter by how much you're leading on your opponent on a specific hexagon, you will still only get 1 point at the end of the game. So this is the first rule of the game of hex. Whoever has more hexagons at the end of the game is winning. It's very simple. The second rule is the rule of capturing stones, and it's done this way. Say the red player plays a stone here. If the blue player wants to capture it, all he has to do is to block all the lines that go out of this stone. See, there are 3 lines. So if the blue player plays here, then the red player ignores it. Blue keeps blocking. Now the next turn, when blue plays here, he will capture the stone. He does not get any points for the capture, but see that the influence that the red stone had is now no longer, and it will be very easy for the blue player to take in the end of the game all of these 3 hexagons. The way you capture one stone, you can also capture more than one stone. If we take a look at those 2 stones here, you see that there is a red stone here, and actually red blocked one of his own lines. What that means? That means that now we take those 2 stones as one group, and if we want to capture, we will have to capture them together. You'll see that now this group has 2 more lines that aren't occupied, so if the blue player wants to capture them, you can capture them together like this. It's very simple. This way you can capture even 20 stones, as much as you want. Now see that if the red player played here in the end, see that there are only 2 lines going out, so if blue wants to capture, he only needs 2 stones for that. Okay, you have to notice that at this point, after the capture, you see that here there's an empty line, and if red wants to play there, you see that it's like a commit suicide, because there are no lines. So red is not allowed to play here. Even if by playing there, the red player threatens to capture a blue stone, still, you cannot play here. It's not allowed. It's not allowed to play a move that commits suicide. It appears that we're done with all the rules of the game of X. It's very simple. In the end of the game, it ends either if one of the players resigns because he saw that his opponent has too many hexagons, so he has no way of winning, or if both players don't have any more places to play, or they just don't want to play anymore. Because if, like, I'll give you one example. It's very important. Say if the red player has a stone here, now these 2 blue stones cannot be captured right now. But oh, that's even not a good example, because even the blue player is not allowed to play here because it's a commit suicide, because it connects the 2 stones here, and together this one group will have no liberties, no lines going out of it. So no one is allowed to play here. But if we try to get, let's see how we do it. Should be very simple. Okay, so say the red player has a stone here. Let's ignore the fact that blue can capture that stone by playing here, But if blue plays, see that these two stones cannot be captured at all. But if the blue player plays here, then that move that red cannot play, blue played it for him, so now the red player can easily capture the two stones. That's why in the end of the game it will be that the both the players want to keep playing because each move they will play will only ruin it for them. And in this case, they will both press the pass button. When both players pass their turn, that's when the points are being calculated. And whoever had more points wins the game. Here you can see that test 1, the red player, won by 5.5. What's the half point, you ask? Well, since the blue player starts the game, he gets a bit of an advantage, so in order to compensate for that, the red player gets half a point more. So on the board, I bet that the red player has 5 more points, and he also got half a point because he is the second player to play. So this game finished 5.5 for red, and I hope you understood all of the rules. It's actually very simple. Thanks for watching and enjoy the game.